Hi, I'm Brenna. I'm a sophomore, and I'm a communications and media major.
Hi, I'm Julia. I'm a sophomore and I'm an education major.
Hi, I'm Declan. I'm a sophomore, and I'm a health science major with a biology minor.
You can
Yeah. I'll edit it for you.
So, Halloween is kind of coming on, but we're celebrating kind of parties and that this week, and then that's really when people are dressing up. How do you guys use gender, or how does gender affect the way that you pick your costumes and things like that?
Well, I think personally, I know for females, speaking as a female myself, I know that a lot of the girls that I know, including myself, tend to go for costumes that show more skin because that's the ones that are going to get attention. And those are the ones that I think, when you post it on Instagram, that's the one that's going to get the most likes because people are going to be able to say, they're going to look at these costumes and think, oh, wow, this is really, attractive to me or something like that. And it's kind of, personally, I think it's kind of disgusting that that's the way that social media is nowadays and how our society is, that's what gets, the most likes and gets the most attention is showing skin.
So you feel as though potentially social media is playing more of a key role?
Definitely. I think if social media wasn't involved, then it might be a different story.
Okay.
I know that back in the olden days, I guess there wasn't as much skin showing. Women were required to wear dresses down to their feet and covering their arms and everything. And I think definitely now that social media is relevant, it just gives excuses for people to show more of themselves.
Okay. How do you two kind of feel about that?
I agree with that point. I feel like it's for a girl, it's always based on someone else's opinion. It's never based on your own opinion. Like you want to impress someone else instead of yourself.
Okay.
I do agree with what Brenna and Julia said. And from a guy's perspective, it's kind of shown by toughness and how you look like a man. A lot of muscles are shown for guys, and a lot of people they'll I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, just a lot toughness and who can be the best, who can have the best costume of the same person, and it's kind of like a contest almost. But other than more masculinity, not a lot of skin is that shown for men, other than maybe cut-offs just to show muscles.
So you think there's more, for men at least, obviously, there's more of an emphasis on kind of hypermasculinity?
Yeah, and just kind of how your body looks and how it's appeared.
So I think going off that, so even children's costumes for boys and that, or that are marketed towards boys, they often feature, implanted muscles and things like that. So yeah, that definitely is kind of true and accurate. So, so besides social media, which I would agree probably plays a key role nowadays in that, do you guys feel any other sort of pressure or any other comments would you have for kind of things like that?
Well, I know Julie and I went to the same high school, and the sports, the fall sports teams would all dress up in different costumes and things like that. And the football team used to dress up in togas, and they would take bed sheets and they would wrap it so how you would in when you were living in Greece or whatever, and it would show all of their arms, and it would show part of their chest also because it wraps from the neck across.
Yep.
And at our school, I know at least, there was a huge emphasis on you can't have your shoulders showing. And I know other schools it's a huge deal also, and fingertip length for skirts or shorts or things like that. And there also was another, I think it was the wrestling team would dress up as, was it lumberjacks, I think? And they would wear really, really short shorts, cut off shorts, and they would wear suspenders with what are they called? Flannel shirts and things like that. And even the rugby players would wear their rugby shorts to school, which are very short, that go up to here. And they would never, ever, 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 ever really get in trouble. You'd never hear anybody going home because of that.
Yeah.
But yet, there would be people standing in the hallways at our school that are hall monitors, and as you're walking to class, they would pull you aside in front of everyone. Like everyone's walking to class, and they would pull you out, single you out if you had like your shoulders showing, your shorts are too short, and they would ask you to either go to the nurse's office or go home and change. So
Okay.
I think at least that's disgusting to me.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah. So there's obviously a hypersexuality
Yeah.
kind of issue with Halloween costumes and that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, no, go
I feel
ahead.
like
I'm
when
so
the-
sorry, yeah.
When they're advertised like for those girl costumes, like the people that advertise them are like you're skinny and tall and like,
Right.
but when you buy it, like that's not what you're gonna look like. But like you want to look at the
Yeah.
picture on the bag.
So
Even
there-
the package, it says like sexy pirate or like
Yeah.
sexy vampire.
Right,
It's never
right.
just like vampire. It's like sexy or like sexy
Right.
nurse or something like that.
Yeah.
That's how it's advertised to people when they buy it.
Even
Okay.
like little kids costumes, like the models are like perfect.
Exactly.
Like no one can
They
look
look like
that.
Victoria's Secret
Yeah.
models on the package. You're like, ooh,
That's
don't know if I can
wild.
fit in that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just for like out of personal curiosity and that how do you guys feel about costumes that emphasize or not emphasize but play off of professional roles? So
You mean, like,
nurses,
nurses, teachers, things like
doctors,
that?
teachers, yeah, things like that. Do you guys have any comments on that
I
specifically?
think it's some of the costumes are a little disrespectful to the professions. Just because that's not, if you were to walk into, say, like a teacher, if you were to walk into school, they're not going to be wearing what a girl or a guy would be wearing
Right.
during Halloween.
Right.
And from a guy's perspective, like they expect girls to dress with, like Brennan was saying earlier, like showing a lot of skin and stuff during a Halloween weekend. And like I guess for a lot of people, like they don't really register it as a big deal, but it's like actually sat down and thought about it, they'd be like, wow, that's not right.
Yeah.
But most people just think it's the normal thing,
Right.
and
It's also the same thing like when people dress up for Cinco de Mayo, like when you're not of that race, like people get
Yeah.
extremely offended by that. It's a very similar thing, and I think it's also like when men, like if some men will dress up in like female type costumes to be funny, and
Yeah.
that's like the same thing. Like it's kind of sexist, like the way that they portray it,
Right.
and it's just seen as funny
Because
to,
they're doing it not out of freedom of expression, but rather out of
Exactly.
mockery
right, exactly.
towards
And
that
so
gender. Yeah.
that sets kind of like a precedent, and also like if these kids, like younger kids, see people dressing this way, like
Yeah.
that's kind of like I said earlier, like the precedent that is in their mind that like this is what, not necessarily like, oh, this is what a teacher looks like, but kind of like this is normal, like it's okay for me to feel like I need to show my body to get attention or something like that.
Okay. Well, we got to wrap up. Do you guys have any final comments or anything that you would like to say?
just dress however you want. At the end of the day, it's your decision, so don't fall under the pressure. And
Don't dress to impress.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
All right. Well, thank you so much. All right.